In this lesson, we're going to take a look at how we can make our minor pentatonic scale just a little bit bluesier and funkier sounding. We're going to take a little bit of a cue from jazz guitarist Kenny Burrell. This was an idea I first really noticed in his recording of Chitlin's Concarne on the Midnight Blue album, which I think came out in like 1958 or 59. And he's playing a big jazz archtop guitar, not really bending strings at that point, but he's playing a lot of phrases where he's actually making this minor pentatonic scale work over a dominant seventh chord. And the reason why that is interesting is because a dominant seventh chord, which is typically the seventh chord that we play over most blues progressions, has a major third in it. And the minor pentatonic scale has a minor third. So there's always this little bit of friction between those two notes. And in order to make it fit, he's actually taking that minor third and he's kind of pushing it towards the major third. So that's one of the things we're going to look at today. The other one is just taking the flat 5 and adding it to the minor pentatonic scale and making an actual blues scale out of it. Okay, so we're going to take a look first of all at your minor pentatonic scale. The scale itself, it's the first scale that most of us learn when we start improvising. We're doing this in the key of C minor so that it fits more of the Kenny Burrell song that I'm going to post the link for. All right, so we start on here, and if you do the cage system, it's in the E root shape that's based around your 6-string bar chord. Root, minor third, 4th, 5th, minor 7, root, minor third, 4th, 5th, minor 7, root, minor third. Notice that, just like the last lesson, I'm relating all of these notes as their scale tone or their interval names to the root. And that's going to help us not only be able to learn these and understand how they function, but also how you can play these ideas in other places in the fretboard and also transpose them into other keys. It's just a really useful skill to have to be able to relate or to see the relationships that notes have to each other. So the first thing we're going to do, we've got our root here. There's our minor third. If I go root, minor third, and then back to root, not particularly bluesy. But if I take that minor third and just give it a little tweak, not in tune, that's the major third. I'm not going, right? Which almost, you could do kind of almost like a slide kind of sound. But for our purposes right now, we're just doing the quarter step bend. You can do it there. Root, minor third, root, same thing. You can also play the minor third out here if you wanted to. All right. Anytime, say I'm going up the scale, right, I'll give that note a little tweak. And same thing going down. Right, and that actually just gives me a little bit more of that bluesy taste to those notes. Right, it's a small thing. A lot of people might not even catch it, but it will feel good. It'll work. All right, so that's the first idea. Is anytime you play a phrase, with that third in it, give it a little bend and see. It'll probably work for you in terms of making it sound bluesier. The next thing is we're just going to take that pentatonic scale and just add the one note that makes it a blues scale. Right? Now, a lot of people say, well, I can just learn this as a 6-note scale, and then I'm playing a blues scale. But I like to extract sounds out of the bigger scales to be able to understand, like, hey, I've got this minor pentatonic vocabulary. How can I manipulate this? If I want it to sound Dorian, I know I can put the 6 and the 9 in there. If I want to sound natural minor, I can put the flat 6 in there. All this stuff kind of relates together. All right, and in something like the blues scale, it helps just to know where that one note is, right? So the flat 5, which in this case is G flat or F sharp, is right there in between the 4 and the 5. And it's also right here. Right? Because you got this little chromatic passage of 3 notes, it gives you a little bit of a smoother ride through that part of the scale. Now, that sound is pretty endemic to a lot of blues licks or blues ideas. And what we're doing is we're playing the 4 and we're hammering and pulling off that flat 5. There's the minor third. And then the root. more thing for us to look at is this idea. I love this organ lick that Stevie Ray Vaughan would do, like in Cold Shot, where he's actually playing the note on the first string, and he's barring his finger across that 8th fret right there, and he's got his third finger on the 4, and he's hybrid picking. So he's playing the pick on the 3rd string and the ring finger on the 1st, and he's doing this hammer and pull 4 flat 5 4 3rd, or he's just picking all of it while he's picking that root on the 1st string at the same time. All right, and that gives you kind of this cool organ sound.